All right.
Greetings, everybody. How y'all doing? We hope that you're enjoying your New Year's Eve. So, we want to let you know that this is a pre recorded show. So, we're not inviting anybody in. When it's done, you'll be able to sit back and listen with your cup of wine, your glass of wine, excuse me,
Right.
glass of wine, your cup of tea, or a nice cup of coffee, and sit back and listen to this show.
Sidebar
Mhm.
before you get further. This show is from November 6th. Okay, so we just redoing it. It's a pre-recording. I just wanted to add that sidebar so you know what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay, continue on, Jay.
So I'm one of the co-hosts, Aisha, better known as Jade, and the other co-host.
I'm the other co-host Uno for Chit Chat Chew Show.
So we welcome you and thank you in advance. So we're going to jump right on into this. And sidebar, real quick, make sure that you're safe for New Year's Eve. Do not drink and
Please.
drive. Do not, again,
Be
repeat,
safe.
drink and drive. Be safe. Have a designated driver. If you got to be out here, have a designated driver who did not drink to get y'all to your destination safe. That we cannot stress that enough.
You can't be a danger to these
You
roads.
cannot be a danger
to anybody else.
Exactly. So
drive safely, folks, please.
So jumping in, our first topic of discussion is that whole Korea and Trump.
Oh yeah, North Korea versus Trump.
North Korea versus Trump.
I just laughed.
So I'm gonna be reading from this article from express.co.uk. Again, it's from express express dot co uk. It says, titled, Wipe Out North Korea Regimen. Top U.S. advisor issues chilling warning of Trump's next step. Former U.S. Ambassador John Bolton said that force was the only way that the North Korean threat to the U.S. would be neutralized as tensions escalate towards a military outbreak. John Bolton, who remains a top U.S. security advisor, said the world only had, quote unquote, one play left, unquote, in dealing with North Korea. This follows remarks from U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and the South Korean government that diplomatic efforts have not been exhausted yet. However, Mr. Bolton claimed that sanctions had no impact on Kim Jong-un's regimen, and one way or another, the leadership will have to be toppled. Speaking to Fox News, Mr. Bolton said that U.S. President Donald Trump should now focus on persuading China that wiping out the North Korean regimen was in their national interests. He told the U.S. broadcaster, these threats will only grow worse next year, especially with both China and Russia trying to two-time us this week. I don't think North Korea will ever voluntarily give up their nuclear program. Enormous pressure through sanctions has not slowed down the regime at all. This is a prison camp of an economy. Its people live desperate lives, but there's been no impact on the nuclear test. There is one diplomatic play left here. You cannot coerce China into this, but you can persuade them that their national interest requires getting rid of this regime. Reunification of the
see that? Peninsula.
Excuse me, peninsula. Same word I couldn't pronounce before. Got tongue-tied. Peninsula is the way to go, but there may be other options. As long as this regimen stays in place, you will have a nuclear threat, not just in Asia, but they are capable of selling it to anyone around the world, be it Iran, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda.
According to state-run reports in North Korea, the regiment has stated that commitment to the country's nuclear development in 2018, North Korea will continue bolstering the capabilities for self-defense and preemptive attack with the nuclear force as the pivot as long as the US and its vassal forces persist in nuclear threat. Throughout the past year, North Korea has conducted a series of ballistic missile tests despite constant criticism from the West and trade sanctions. North Korea has called the latest UN sanctions an act of war and said the United States and other nations that supported the strict measures will play, make sure I'm reading this with you.
It said pay.
Will pay, excuse me, a heavy price.
Hmm.
So that's just a little bit on that in regards to the title of this article,
These international affairs,
wiping out North Korean.
Once again, this in these international affairs that Trump is involved in, and previous to the presidents that came before him have established relationships with world leaders. Trump is really jumping the gun of wanting to start a war because of his ego and his bigotry. He should be careful because I'm sure North Korea has the technical weaponry to annihilate America if they wanted to.
I mean, seriously.
America's not the only fucking country on the planet that has militarized weapons. There's other countries that have just the equal amount of weapons as they do, and they can destroy anything if they wanted to.
Right. As well as, I mean, U.S. has a habit of running our mouth,
starting shit with people,
starting and giving out information that we should sometimes just shut up,
give out way too much,
and handle our business if that's what we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Where I see these other countries, they just sit back, they watch us, they silent about theirs, and when it's time for them to act on what they need to do, they just come out.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of other countries as well, including Asia, they're so far in advance, more advanced than we are. I mean,
it's not surprising, especially China. China is one of the leading,
and they're very disciplined.
Very disciplined. Very intelligent people, very smart. So yeah, I mean, and what's ironic about this, I mean, much as these presidents and the government starting these wars with other countries, you have China, they owe a debt to, a huge debt to. I'm saying financial debt to. Mm-hmm. Even resources that they get from China, whether it's products or what have you. They're trying to bargain with China to stay in their good graces. So, they have like I said, it's another reason why they try to have these relationships with leaders of these different countries, specifically China, and trying to find a way to pay back these debts. And so that goes into money, rather that's using people to fight their wars, or trying to creating their own money to pay back this debt. I mean, it's all kinds of ways, but it's just ironic how they starting wars with people, but then you owe debt to people. I just find that kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. You shoot yourself in the foot. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you're right. They are around the world starting wars with different people. Just starting shit with people to take their resources and use it for yourself because of your greed and overly strong ass power that you think you're going to have.
True.
But Trump, that guy's a fucking idiot, man. Like
Right.
he just say stuff to say stuff and don't think about what he be saying.
Not at all. I mean, you going over to these other countries, just really honestly, they don't care in these other countries because you the president of the United States. When you step into their territory, anything can happen. They don't care
It's a
if
whole
you're the
different
president.
ball
Makes it, it's a
game.
whole different ball game.
Don't
These
have no
people do
fear.
not exactly. They have no fear whatsoever.
Mind you, in these countries, they deal with hardships and war every day. This is a normal thing to them. If we was experiencing this, I'm saying getting your country blown up every damn day. There's nowhere to live. You're getting your house blown up. There's your family getting blown up into pieces. Brothers, a father, a mother, a cousin, whoever. You see blood everywhere. You fighting tanks and all kind of stuff. That stuff don't phase you. What the hell? The United States, and I'm talking about on the political level of people that runs that. They don't care about who, like you said, they don't care if Trump is president. What that mean to them? They're not scared of that.
Exactly.
They
They
ready,
don't like us anyway.
right?
A lot of times they just don't.
Because how we present ourselves and portray as a country, they don't like us
Right.
for good reason. But to be honest with you, and I gotta say this is a race thing. Although I get why I get why other countries see it from a humanity from a human point of view. But if you look at it on a global scale, y'all know who over here starting all these fucking wars, and it ain't black people. Let's
Mm-hmm.
be honest. All these damn Europeans are start with every fucking body, starting shit. Wanna be evil and take everything from everybody. And then when someone retaliates, oh, they're the enemy, they're the terrorists. And then they're going and then they'll put this in the media that those guys are the black sheep. They're the terrorists. They're the one that terrorizing our country. Ain't that something?
Right.
If that ain't sick, I don't know what is. I mean, but you're right though. I mean,
You're right as well. I mean, it's different factors that play into this.
they go over it. I mean, they don't like us. That's true. That's very true.
We always got to
Especially
go
white people.
we always got to go somewhere and make all this kumbaya peace. Some
Mm-hmm.
things I think you should leave well enough alone. Like let these folks be where they at, and we need to do something where we at instead of trying to go over, like you said, in other countries and start. And yes, it is a lot of Europeans, and we need to take care of home.
Home first,
We need to
absolutely.
take care of home.
And involving itself in issues and matters of other countries that has nothing to do with you. That's
Nothing,
another thing America
nothing to
does.
do with us. We got to be in everything and be seen and be heard and get kudos and props. No, stay out of these people's business and let them deal with their own.
Right. True.
And plus, can we stop inviting people all the time into our stuff too? Like, can
Talking
we?
about black people.
I'm I'm
Oh, you
I'm
just talking about
I'm
America in
just
general.
speaking of America in general. Can we
Oh.
just stop inviting all the time?
Yeah.
I mean, all the time though.
Yeah.
We so overly friendly and
It's
just
time. It's a
want to
time and
just
place.
right. It's a time and place for that. But also, I mean, you spoke on black people. Just a
But it's true about
sidebar,
black
black people
people.
too. We need to
We need to
stop
stop
being
inviting
so
everybody.
inviting everybody,
And they got
and that's
shit
not
to
a
do with
racist
racism.
thing. Yes,
But
see,
people gonna
well,
keep thinking
they're
that.
gonna keep thinking that. Oh my God, all y'all do is talk about black. Okay, well we black, so we gonna do that.
Right. Just the same reason why y'all do. Why we do it? Cause y'all what? Intimidated.
We
Y'all
speak,
feel left out. That's
we
all it is.
we speak about everything, but we're not going to deny the fact that we come from a black Asiatic
Whatever you identify as,
whatever
Moorish,
you
Pan-African,
exactly whatever you identify
Hebrew,
as.
Israelite, we all come from the same line. It doesn't make a damn difference what you label yourself. The point is, you right on what you're saying. We gotta stop allowing all these outsiders to come in our circle and be a part of what we're doing. Stop being so damn friendly, because everybody's not friendly to us. We gotta be honest with ourselves. Because if the tables are turned, would they invite us? to their affairs and any issues that they got going on, anything positive that they got going on as far as elevating their race? No. So why should we? It has nothing to do with racism. It's about self-pride, self-preservation, and separation. The difference between segregation and separation, that's two different meanings. Separate. We need to separate from people.
Yes, because as we all have known, a lot of times when we Americans go over to these other countries, a lot of times people have gotten kidnapped. Worst case scenario, they've gotten killed. Because we gone over there in their territory, they space, and we doing things that we have no business. We so damn nosy. We sticking our noses in places where it should not be. Rules. Not following their rules or respecting their cultures.
That's true.
And then they not playing that. They coming at you.
As they should. I can't be mad. You're right.
So we need to be mindful about that too.
Absolutely. I do have an article here. This is coming from foxnews.com. The headline reads, "North Korea threat. Pentagon says ready to fight tonight as Trump shows bomber pics." Now
they need to bomb him.
Right.
I'm so sick of him. He y'all president though.
Y'all voted for him.
I didn't vote for him. He not my president.
I ain't say you, but
no. I'm just y'all
voted for him.
Y'all voted for him.
And some of you coons voted for him too. Now you regret it, sitting there with the dumb look.
Right. But okay. So what are we gonna do? Like we always say, how proactive y'all gonna be? I know y'all really can't think that y'all can trust or rely on Trump.
I hope you don't.
Please don't.
Talking about he's good. I could say one thing he did good for.
I respect that he opened about how he is.
Racist, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I give him that.
Right.
He ain't sugarcoating it like Obama did. Oop, I talked about y'all president. I sure did. I ain't vote for him either. Sure didn't. And don't tell me the generation. I know about the ancestors and blah, blah, but I also know there were ancestors before us, our time, that didn't vote and still was proactive. So don't feed me the BS.
Right.
But okay, I'm sorry.
You're right though. I mean,
I don't put my trust in no man, no woman, no human, no nothing. I trust the creator, divine spirits, universe itself.
Because it takes yourself to make a difference.
Yes.
You shouldn't have to wait on a fucking political leader any goddamn way. I don't know what constructs y'all think y'all living in, but y'all living in a fairy tale because none of that shit is an illusion. That's what y'all not understanding. All that was put there to think you have power and you don't. So let's get that straight. So what you think because you vote, you're going to change something. And I'm tired of hearing about, the people that voted for Trump, that's the reason why he's here, but the reason why he's not in there because people should have voted. No, it has nothing to do with that. Doesn't matter if millions of votes came in to make sure that Trump didn't get elected and Hillary did, doesn't matter because look, the elite already had a chosen one anyway. All these people are pre-selected. They already selected people already. Trump was already selected. So it doesn't matter if there was favorable votes or senator votes for a president. Trump was going to win anyway. And mind you, a lot of these voting machines is rigged.
It's rigged.
On purpose.
On purpose. As has been identified, out here. They stated.
In the media. It's no secret.
They stated in the media about these things, and yet still people just think, it'll blow over, or it's
still
not,
can make a difference.
It's not true, and all of that. And no, everything is not false, like we've said in previous shows. There are facts, there's fictional, and there's facts. And we in them times where there's a lot of facts that's being put out.
Revelation, y'all. We're in the times.
We're in that revelation, whether you religious or spiritual or whatever. All I know
I'm not
is
a
that
big Bible person, but
is that we are in them days, in them times
right.
where people need to wake up.
You're right. And I mean, I can identify with that. We are in the times of revelation. You can see it. Everything is coming to fruition. Certain things in the Bible are coming to fruition. I told you I'm not a big fan of the Bible. I'm not overhyped about it. I'm not super religious over it, but certain things do hold true, and I can identify
There's
with that.
false in the Bible,
That's
and there's
it.
truth in the Bible.
Notice I said that's it. I just said that's it.
And it's not taken away. We're not bashing or anything before people get in their heads and overthink that we're bashing. You know, that there's truth and there's lies in anything, any spiritual path, any religious path. It's all how you take it and dissect it. You have to know truth in it, and we are in those days.
Because as humans, we are recorders of the days of the. We are recorders of revelation, meaning that we receiving, whether it's from the eyes, from the ears, from the mouth, we taking this all in of time and history. So that's why I say I identify.
Exactly. Before you get into your article, also me and Uno, we watch a lot of we watch other shows besides hip hop, Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives and Medea bouncing around and all the other things that people enjoy watching, and no shade, because it takes you away, I guess, from your everyday life, and that's okay. But we watch shows or documentaries or just TV shows or whatever.
Yeah, documentaries, TV shows, movies.
Right, that it's telling you what's about to happen, if what's about to happen, and
predictive programming or what's already
going on. You can think it's fake. You can think all of it is fake if you want to. That's on you. 2018, I'm staying in my lane and being around conscious minded like people. And for those that are not, that's okay.
You gotta
leave them where they're at. You can leave me where I'm at, and it's all good.
Life is good.
Life is good for 2018.
Life don't stop.
Life does not stop.
You gotta keep elevating.
Absolutely, because my third eye is opening. I don't know about nobody else. It's waking up. It's about to be a big ass eyeball.
That's how you want it.
It's about to be big eyeball. So, hey, for those that went to church with me and have commented in the past, well, you was brought up in church. I know where the hell I was brought up at. I was brought up from the womb with church, and I don't knock it because I'm appreciative of the foundation that I got. But I also know that I have a mind of my own, the older that I've gotten, that there's always been more out here in the spiritual world and in the world in general. And if I choose to go another outlet, you can either accept it or not accept it, but don't disrespect me, because I don't care if I went to church or grew up with you or not. I might curse you out, and I don't want to do that because I was brought up better than that. But you will not disrespect me. So that's all I have to say. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
All right. To the article with yourself.
I know with myself. I'm getting it out in 2017.
Get it out. Pentagon officials told Fox News on Friday that the U.S. military. Oh, let me say this article comes from August 11th. This was published on August 11th. Okay. Pentagon officials told Fox News on Friday that the U.S. military stands ready to fight tonight on the Korean Peninsula, as President Trump said the U.S. is locked and loaded, and retweeted images from U.S. Pacific Command showing B-1B Lancer bombers on Guam. At the same time, a North Korean state news agency statement warned that even a single shell dropped on the Korean Peninsula might lead to the outbreak of thermonuclear war. We consider the U.S. no more than a lump which we can beat to a jelly at any time, the Korean Central News Agency said, quoting Institute of International Studies researcher Kang Kum Chow. The exchange capped a week of escalating warnings between Washington and Pyongyang. Military solutions are now fully in place, locked and loaded. Should Korea act unwisely, hopefully Kim Jong-un will find another path, Trump tweeted early Friday morning. This was Donald Trump's tweet on Twitter. So he says, military solutions are now fully in place, locked and loaded. Should North Korea act unwisely, hopefully Kim Jong-un will find another path. Now, shortly afterward, he retweeted the Pacific Command saying USAF 1B Lancer bombers on Guam stand ready to fulfill USFK's flight tonight mission if called upon to do so. And that's a tweet on his Twitter. So you have to go back around August to see this, okay? Both tweets. All right. Now, the fight tonight vow is a long held motto for U.S. forces deployed to the region. Trump and top military officials have left little to the imagination in warning Pyongyang about what will happen if allowed through an armed threat to attack Guam at U.S. territory. He does something in Guam, it will be an event the likes of which nobody has seen before. What will happen in North Korea? Trump said Thursday at his property in Bedminster, New Jersey, in your neck of the woods, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
In response to Kim Jong Un's threats, it's not a dare, it's a statement. Trump tweets followed days of escalating rhetoric toward the regime. Earlier this month, the UN Security Council voted unanimously to introduce a set of punishing sanctions that could cost North Korea almost $1 billion off of its $3 billion annual export revenue. The resolution, which is considered the harshest levied against Pyongyang in a decade, was payback for its test of two intercontinental ballistic missiles last month. Those tests, plus word that the rogue regime may have miniaturized nuclear weapons, have brought to the world to the brink of war. But dictator Kim Jong-un responded with more threats against the West, touching off a rhetorical escalation that culminated in Trump's warning this week that the rogue nation would be met with fire and fury if it tried to carry out its threats. Hours later, state media in North Korea reported that its leaders were seriously considering a plan to fire missiles at Guam. Despite the tough rhetoric, these are just 6 B-1 bombers deployed to Guam right now, according to defense officials. Out of the Air Force fleet of 62 bombers, only half can fly right now after years of budget cuts, according to Air Force statistics. There is currently no U.S. Navy aircraft carrier strike group of Marine Corps expeditionary unit off the Korean Peninsula right now. Military assets could scramble from other locations. However, the presidential has faced some criticism in Washington for the tone of his rhetoric against Pyongyang, with lawmakers warning he could needlessly escalate the standoff. But Trump maintained Thursday his words might not have been tough enough. The warnings from Trump come as China, North Korea's primary ally, issued a valid warning to the U.S. China's government, via state media, said it would remain neutral if North Korea attacks the U.S., but would defend its neighbor if the U.S. were to strike first against Kim Jong-un. Meanwhile, other Asia-Pacific countries, including Japan and Australia, have came out in support of the United States in the event of a North Korea nuclear attack. My thoughts on this part that with China's government and just their military. Now, okay, I understand it. I just said this in the beginning of the show. China and the United States have a relationship, a political relationship. They have a relationship, but I mean political relationship. So I get that part. All right, so that's why they want to remain neutral in affairs between North Korea and Trump / America. Now, if the United States hit North Korea first, China's going to step in because let's face it, because this is what it's going to come to. I'm seeing it's going to be America versus the world. Or the Golden Army. The Golden Army consists of Asians and probably the Arab people. That's the Golden Army. So now I'm looking at Japan and Australia. Australia is not a surprise. All Europeans stick together. No surprise there. Now Japan. What's interesting about Japan is if you look through history, there's been so much, they've been so much an ally with America, specifically with the Europeans, that's no surprise that they support the United States, because Japan and the United States of America go hand in hand in political and social affairs. And I know Japan and China had beef with each other for a long time over power and territory and establishing culture in what place they thought would best for it to be, that to this day they still kind of have this tiff back and forth, you know. So it's very deep with them. I'm saying Japan and China, that's a very deep history of the beef that they have. But I will say this, I mean, I won't be surprised if Japan was to pair with China one day in Korea, because they're all the same people. I don't care if they label themselves Korean, Japan, or Japanese, or Chinese, or if you from Taiwan, see Taiwanese. I don't care if you live in the Philippines, you Filipino. But it all said and done. If Japan had to, they're gonna ally with their own. Because let's face it, at some point, the United States is gonna turn their back on Japan. They already done turned their backs on the Arab people.
On the Arab people, right?
So I mean, it's not gonna be a fucking surprise if they turn their back on Japan. So I'm just ready for that. So Japan better be careful.
I mean, because hell, U.S. turned their backs on
everybody,
including the U.S.
Yeah,
us,
especially so blacks.
They definitely. I mean, they're gonna do right. So they definitely do that. So what make you think that they not gonna? They wouldn't turn their back on these other countries. Yeah, they do it. They do it to their own.
They sure would do it to,
and outsiders. They will do it to the outside.
Oh yeah,
I truly believe that. I sure do. So you know, you got to watch, thinking that everybody got your back. You better have your own back.
Mm-hmm.
China have your own back.
China understands that. Notice they said they're neutral because they still watch the United States. They don't trust them Europeans. They work with them. I get it. They work with them. Again, black people, I said segregation versus separation. It's a big difference. China understands this. I'm sure Japan does. You know, they have a tight allyship with the United States. I know the Arab countries understand this. Because of course of course, as it don't matter what race you is, black, white, whatever, I know that you're gonna come across all sorts of people in all walks of life. And you can't go around hating everybody.
Right.
And you have to deal with them at some point, or you're gonna come across and you gotta deal with them in any situation, any circumstance, or whatever environment you're in. That doesn't mean that you gotta have this tight bond with them, and you gotta fully associate yourself with them like they're your own. Because at the end of the day, when they're all said and done, they're gonna go back to their own. They're gonna associate with their own. They're gonna look out for their own. They're gonna take up for their own. They're not gonna be like us. We such a love people. We gotta embrace everybody, because they don't do that like we do. So yeah, so I get it. But us as black people gotta learn that it's okay to embrace people, but you gotta have a line. You gotta draw a line with it. We get blurred mentally with that. And psychologically, we get blurred. There's a blurred line there, and we're not checking that line. We're not setting the tone for shit. We just allowing everything to come in and don't question nothing. We got to stop being so trusting. It's okay to be friendly and all that, but that don't mean we got to be mingling with them all the time. We just need to be separated from them, and that's okay. I mean, that's just what it is. But I mean, far as Trump having B-1 bombers and he has missiles and all this stuff, trying to attack China and Japan, gonna let off in their country. He has to be crazy to think that they're not gonna attack back, like they're not capable of it or something. But best believe it can happen if United States makes the first move. But I think Trump gonna kick off this war.
I wouldn't put it past him. And that whole neutral thing, I definitely feel you, because I'm neutral with everybody. Let me make my point clear from my personal experience. I'm not a racist, but I'm definitely, because my tribe has I have many backgrounds in my tribe. Let me say that. So I'm not racist. I'm very neutral to white, black, I'm neutral to everybody, and that's from personal experience. I can be very cordial with you and respect you as long as you respect me, but it's a line that it's a line, and I have to be honest with that. And it's not a bad thing with me saying that. Some people may tend to take that in a bad way, and that's your lane. However you choose to want to take it, because I don't have time to dissect it verbatim on why I am or why I do the things that I do
to make them comfortable.
To make you comfortable. Right. I'm a friendly, I'm a people person and not a people person, and I say that all the time. And really, nobody really gets it, probably except for Uno. I can be the most casual, friendliest person, but if I'm cross, the light switch goes off, and I'm somebody totally different. And I'm not colorblind by that, because respect is across the board, which a lot of people have lost. So I just want to make that clear on myself. Like I said, sidebars, I'm going to be saying what I got to say for 2017 before we get out of 2018. I'm going to say what I feel like I got to say. And either you'll keep me on as a Facebook or you'll delete me. But either way, I wish you well, prosperous, honestly.
Y'all not going to see what I just did. But fuck you for 2018.
It's all about self. That's the goal for me. Self, this business, Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC, means the world to me. It is a part of my life. It is a part of my family. Me and Uno gonna do things. We're not gonna even put it out there. When you see it, you see it. That's when you're gonna know. Because everything that you do doesn't need to be broadcast, people. Y'all want to put all this broadcast about your people while people are taking mental notes and writing it down on what y'all doing.
You can jinx yourself that way.
Exactly. You can jinx yourself. You don't exactly. You don't know the energy. There's billions of people in this world. You don't know the energy. Energy can be transferred through
words
however.
Can be powerful too.
Exactly.
So people can stunt your progress.
Exactly.
So you gotta be very careful. Announcing a lot of shit.
Please don't believe roots and witchcraft and all that don't exist, because it do. People can wish or do little things by saying different little sayings. So be careful about putting your personal business. Please, everybody, keep your personal business off of Facebook.
It's not personal no more.
It's not personal no more once it hit Facebook.
It's all public for everyone to
public. See. So please be mindful and stop being so damn stupid.
You letting everyone into your personal life.
You don't have to put everything out on Facebook. Let your glory, let your fortunes and your blessings, it'll shine. It'll just shine. You don't have to put everything out. Everything is not meant to be put out there. That's our problem. We so got to put everything out there. Stop. It's retarded. But anywho, my last final article with that.
Once you finish that, then I have one last one, then we can move on to the next subject.
Okay. This one is still coming from express.co.uk. Express.co.uk. The first article I read was dated December 30th, 2017. This one is dated December 31st, which is today, 2017. Also updated Sunday, December 31st, 2017. The headline is North Korea Crisis. We do not have the luxury of time, ex-U.S. official warns amid World War III fears. The current situation with North Korea means we don't have the luxury of time anymore. A former U.S. ambassador to the UN has warned as Kim Jong-un's regime vows full steam ahead for its nuclear capabilities in 2018. They have a Fox News video from Asian analyst Gordon Chang. He says, we should assume North Korea has all weapons of mass destruction known to mankind. That's serious. I'm talking about they ready to take out the world.
But I told you, other countries have the same kind of militarized weapons like America, like the United States has. They have weapons capable of destroying many things just as much as America. So the United States are very cocky, but they need to be careful.
Right.
they're not. They're gonna bite out more than they can chew. Going around bullying people.
Exactly. And that goes back to what you and I was saying a little earlier, that they so quick to be all overly cocky and run their mouth so much, while these other countries are just sitting back listening, taking notes mentally or writing them down. And they're in their silence because they when they come, they coming
Hard.
hard.
They coming hard.
They coming hard.
You ain't gonna be ready.
You just running your mouth talking about what kind of missiles and all this that you have.
You're gonna do this to this country. You're gonna bomb it with these many explosives and all sorts of threats. Okay, keep on then. See how far that's gonna go.
Right.
So what happened to Vietnam War? Y'all forgot? Coming over there thinking you something. You got fucked up. Okay. Well, we in a different time. You thought that was bad. Wait till this war kick off. They're gonna get a surprise of their life running their mouth.
Exactly. Okay, continuing with this article. John Bolton, who served under George W. Bush, said the issue is there a way to go after the facilities that we know about and destroy them? I think that is entirely doable. The program is that any use of force against North Korea, such as a targeted assassination of Kim Jong-un, the use of special operatives, or cyber warfare could trigger a North Korean retaliation against South Korea. This is what people are most worried about, and legitimately so. You have to look at in a very cold and objective way, because the threat to the American people of North Korea, not only having this capability itself, but selling it to others, selling it to Iran and terrorist groups. We don't have the luxury of time anymore. And I think it's that constraint that we need to keep in mind. His comments come after North Korea revealed it will continue to enhance its nuclear capabilities in 2018, despite pressure from international sanctions to back down. An analyst and former American UN mission spokesman, Jonathan Watcher, also warned that Kim Jong-un will continue to build nuclear weapons in a bid to protect his dictatorship, citing despots Gaddafi and Iraq's Saddam Hussein as examples. Mr. Watcher added, they didn't have nuclear deterrence. Both those dictators are dead. Kim Jong-un knows that if war breaks out, he is probably one of the first casualties. So having a nuclear deterrent is something Kim Jong-un understands in his calculus trying to survive. In November, Donald Trump officially declared North Korea was back on the U.S. watch list for state-sponsored terrorism, which includes Iran, designated in 1984, Sudan, added in 1993, and Syria, listed in 1979. The announcement came after a United Nations report revealed that North Korean weapons were discovered on Iranian ships en route to war-torn Somalia. According to the report, the Iranian ship was smuggling machine guns from North Korea to arm militants in Somalia and Libya. A UN diplomat earlier asked, why are Iranian and North Korean small arms finding their way into Somalia from Libya? Somalia, from Libya. Do they date from before the arms embargoes against both North Korea and Iran? How did they get there from Libya? It certainly emphasizes the point that Somalia is a country awash with arms and still very fragile. Earlier this year, a North Korean ship was also seized after it was caught carrying a huge supply of weapons to Egypt. More than 30,000 rocket-propelled grenades
What you looking at?
Grenades discovered on board the freighter named the Jai the Jai Shun, which the Hermit Kingdom had decorated with deceptive Cambodian colors. The Ru state has made no secret of its plans to develop a tipped missile capable of hitting the U.S. mainland and has fired two missiles over Japan in the second half of this year. On September 3rd, North Korea detonated its sixth and largest detonated. North Korea detonated its sixth and largest nuclear test, which sparked an artificial earthquake with a magnitude of 6.3. So they are not to be played with.
Yeah, I see.
I keep trying to say that. I mean, they don't always be putting their business out like that. They just sit back and do what they got to do. And then when it's time to strike, they just coming out full force. And they doing what they do. And they're not talking a lot. They're not overly cocky. They just handling their business.
That's how it's supposed to be done. Attacking your enemy in silence. In stealth. How you planning to take down your attacker? This is the tactics of war. And those countries are very familiar with that. So yeah, that's a given. I mean, I'm not surprised. They're not saying much, but once they come down, it's gonna be shit.
Right.
That's all you. Excuse me. That's all you need to know.
Exactly.
So I have another article. This is coming from CNN.com. The headline reads, U.S. China agree on North Korea nuclear threat. Tillerson says published this is published on April 10th, okay, of this year. China understands how dangerous North Korea's nuclear program has become and agrees action must be taken to stop it. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said Sunday as the U.S. sent an aircraft carrier strike group toward the Korean Peninsula. I think even China is beginning to recognize that this presents a threat to even China's interests. Tillerson said during an interview on CBS Face the Nation program Sunday. He was asked about how North Korea was discussed during last week's summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. President Xi clearly understands and I think agrees that the situation has intensified and has reached a certain level of threat that action has to be taken, Tillerson said. Tillerson did not offer specifics on what those actions might be, but said in Seoul last month that the U.S. would consider military action against North Korea if it was provoked. Despite Tillerson's assessment, China hasn't signaled any change in its approach to Pyongyang in the wake of the landmark summit. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs didn't mention North Korea in two statements they released after the two leaders met. And on Monday, ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying stuck to Beijing's usual script. China's position on the Korean Peninsula issue has been consistent, she said. During the China-U.S. presidential summit at Mar-a-Lago, both sides said they were committed to the goal of denuclearizing the peninsula, will continue to comprehensively carry out UN Security Council resolutions related to North Korea, and agreed to keep close communication and coordination on the issue. Earlier this year, China called on both North Korea and the U.S. to ease tensions on the North Korean peninsula. Pyongyang by suspending its nuclear weapon and missile program, and Washington by stopping military exercises with South Korea that antagonized Pyongyang. Hua reiterated this approach at Monday's briefing. South Korea and China also agreed to take measures against North Korea if the country were to carry out another nuclear test or launch an intercontinental ballistic missile. Both sides agreed that despite the international community's warning if North Korea makes strategic provocations, such as a nuclear test or an ICBM launch, There should be strong additional measures in accordance with the UN Security Council resolution, said Kim Hong Hyun, South Korea's special representative for Korean Peninsula Peace and Security Affairs. The other headline the other headline on this same article is warship heads to Korean Peninsula, not Australia. The comments from Washington's top diplomat came as the Pentagon announced it was sending an aircraft carrier strike group to the waters of the Korean Peninsula. The move on the USS Carl Vinson Strike Group is in response to recent North Korean provocations, a U.S. defense official confirmed to CNN. The Vinson and its escorts, including the guided missile destroyers USS Wayne E. Mayer and USS Michael Murphy, and the guided missiles cruiser USS Lake Champlain, left Singapore Saturday and headed towards South Korea rather than planned port calls in Australia, according to a statement from U.S. Pacific Command. South Korea said the movement of the Vinson Strike Group is a result of recognizing the grave situation on the Korean Peninsula. Given that many political events are taking place in April, there is a possibility for a strategic provocation for North Korea, such as a nuclear test and missile launch. South Korea Defense Ministry spokesman Moon Sang-hyung said. Japan, which has been previous North Korean missile tests fall within 200 miles of its coast, praised the U.S. carrier movement. While the regional security environment becomes increasingly difficult to maintain, it's important to secure the power of U.S. deterrence. Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshihide Suga said. The carrier strike group's movement comes just days before North Korea celebrates the April 15th birthday of deceased leader Kim Il-sung, the grandfather of current leader Kim Jong-un. There has been much speculation that Pyongyang will test missiles or possibly a nuclear device to mark the date. Now, they have a video where you can see U.S. and South Korea conduct military drills. And then they have one picture here. It's a U.S. aircraft carrier. So below it says, sailors spell out #USA with the American flag on the flight deck of Nimitz-class aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt in the Persian Gulf in late June 2015. When the Roosevelt leaves the Gulf sometime in October, the U.S. Navy will be without a carrier in the important region for 2 months. And they have other pictures that you can go through. It's 31 pictures in all. So check out CNN if you want to see more. But that was an interesting article. You see all these international affairs going on, and their challenges and their threats, and who got the most weaponry, and how they're militarized, and China staying neutral. And how it could be also a conflict too of interest at that. I mean, concerning Korea and U.S. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of political play here over this war. That's eventually is going to happen one day. No one knows, but when it happens, you'll definitely see that. All right, so.
Interesting.
What you got to say to it? Like you want to say something?
No. It's interesting. And I just, I guess, want to reiterate. Please, let's keep our eyes open and make sure that we're in tune and listening instead of always saying that things are not going to happen or it's just crazy or, we're just kind of getting sidetracked. No, I don't think that we're just getting sidetracked. Everything is not a sidetrack.
No,
we need to just listen and I don't know, prepare.
Yeah, you gotta prepare at all times. You never know what's gonna happen. So we're gonna go on to our next subject, and I'll let Jay lead the way because I see she already got her article already open. It's on deck. She ready to get to the details and read it. So go ahead, Jay.
So our next, I try not to take too much time up because we have a few more things to get into. So, I'm not sure if you guys remember the shooting of Justine Diamond back in July of this year, 2017. So I'll just kind of refresh your memory. I'm actually reading from the Wikipedia. On July 15, 2017, Justine Diamond, who was a 40-year-old Australian American woman, was shot and killed by Mohammed Noor, a Minneapolis Police Department officer, after she had called 911 to report the possible assault of a woman in an alley behind her house. So, as she was trying to save someone else, unfortunately, her life was taken away from her. The location was, of course, in Minneapolis around West 51st Street Alley between Washburn and uh how do you pronounce it?
Where we at?
X
Zerzex
Zerzex Avenues, Fulton, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Um, Homicide by firearm. Of course, the officer was MPD officer Mohammed Noor, occurring weeks after a high-profile manslaughter trial acquittal in the 2016 police shooting of Philando Castile, also in the Twin Cities metro area. The shooting exacerbated existing tensions and attracted national and international press. So, this gives, that she grew up in the northern beaches of Sydney, Australia. It gives a background of herself as well as the police officer Mohammed Noor. I'm going to see. Okay. Diamond had called 911 twice, 8 minutes apart, late in the evening on the day of the shooting, reporting that she thought she heard a woman either having sex or being raped. Officers searched the area and found no suspects or signs of the suspected rape that had prompted Diamond's telephone calls to 911. According to the account by the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which is investigating the shooting, the officers were driving through an alley, the lights on their squad car off, looking for an assault suspect. Officer Officer Harity indicated that he was startled by a loud sound near the squad, the statement said. Immediately afterwards, Miss Diamonds approached the driver's side window of the squad car. Harity indicated that Officer Noor discharged his weapon, striking her through the open driver's side window. There have been conflicting reports concerning how many times Diamond was shot. Some sources have claimed Noor fired a single shot, while it was reported that Diamond was shot multiple times. The officers attempted CPR to no avail. Diamond died 20 minutes later. Both officers had their body cameras switched off. Go figure. Minneapolis introduced police body cameras in 2016, but their activation is not mandatory in all situations. According to MPD protocol, officers are required to activate body cameras for all citizen contact. Investigators were looking for an unidentified witness, a bicyclist who stopped nearby while the officers were administering CPR. They subsequently located and interviewed the bicyclist. While officials have not confirmed nor denied it, it has been reported that this witness recorded at least some portion of the incident. Mm-hmm. So why the hell they didn't have on their body cameras at all times? But again, police departments, the code, they're going to protect each other. They will lie for each other.
But it should be mandatory for them to wear their body cameras
have it on.
Time.
They had it on, but it was off.
But they did it intentionally.
Exactly.
That's what I'm looking at.
Exactly.
So, like you said, because they're going to protect each other, because there's a code there. But it should be mandatory for them to wear their body cameras. It shouldn't be worn in selective situations if you deal with civilians.
Exactly.
You can't wear it when it's convenient. And this is why people don't trust cops.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
become so militarized. They're not
Mm-hmm.
even being protectors of the community. They are like a military. They're terrorizing people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you cops wonder why people don't want to fuck with y'all or trust y'all because how y'all act towards people. A lot of them need help. They need to go seek some mental help.
Oh, they do. They go through well, they're supposed to. You know, they have these what do they call it? EAPs. I don't know what they call it each
The
one,
programs for
but they
policemen.
right
Mm-hmm.
for policemen as well as like yeah, any government, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
blah blah. But specifically, we're speaking for the police officers where they have those behavior or mental health counseling that they can go to, but a lot of them don't take advantage of that. And again,
But when they're not dealing with their mental issue, that comes destruction not only to them but to other people
mm-hmm,
because you see it all the time. How it's being very destructive to other people of all races, specifically black people, especially our black people. The way they treat our black people is terrible. When there could be, there's other ways to deal with difficult situations.
absolutely
You don't always have to shoot people.
right. They're
That's
very
not
trigger happy.
necessary. Yeah, I agree. They is trigger happy. I just think they like doing it. They just like killing niggas. They just like killing niggas. And another thing that I'm sure y'all are aware of that a lot of cops are told to single out black people, pulling them over, harassing them, terrorizing them, and killing them. They're told to do that by their own commander in charge.
And that is so true because
Or anyone that's above them, anyone that give them orders, they do it.
and you're right about that because I work around police officers, Atlanta police officers, and I'm not gonna name names, and what they say to me stays with me, but the conversations that they've had with me about once upon a time when they were um, not retired and they were full-time duty police officers, the things that they were instructed to do and who to target and just how to react specifically to black people. And these were some black police officers telling me this as well as white white police officers telling me this. So it's very much true that they definitely have a code with them
They have to abide by.
that they have to abide by.
Yeah,
Exactly. And
it's a
that's just
brotherhood.
exactly, it's a brotherhood.
Yeah,
Black, white is a brotherhood.
you're right.
And they have to, and they can't step over that.
Yeah, and if they break the oath, they suffer consequences
They definitely do.
behind that.
So I also, in finishing up this article, this I guess article from Wikipedia, under investigations, it says an application for a search warrant to search the alley where the shooting occurred, referring to the shooting incident, stated upon police arrival, a female slaps the back of the patrol squad. After that, it is unknown to BCA agents what exactly happened, but the female became deceased in the alley. Among items collected were fingerprints from the rear cargo door window of the squad car. Hours after the shooting, Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension investigators con- controversially obtained a second search warrant and carried out a search of Diamond's home for evidence, including bodily fluids, controlled substances, and writings. They did not take anything from the property. Noor has so far refused to speak with investigators and has retained a private attorney. Noor and Harity are on paid administrative leave. Go figure. Paid administrative leave. Not surprising at all. As of December 26, 2017, no charges has been filed against Noor.
Hmm. Not surprising either. Bullshit.
It's just
Damn shame. The situation could have been handled better, a lot better.
So it's just
I'm just sick. I'm just tired and sick and annoyed about all of it. Just cops
it is. It's
being
just
reckless.
like for real, y'all.
I understand you gotta do your job, but there's ways to do it. That's all I'm saying. And if you're mentally not capable, excuse me, if you're mentally not capable, then you might need to step back and reevaluate your life. You
Mm-hmm.
evaluate yourself, man. Get some help. Deal with those
Exactly.
demons, but don't channel that on everybody else. Because then, if someone dies, that's the blood on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
All you do is creating more problems for yourself, and not only that, you're creating a lot of enemies. But they don't care because they following orders. You don't believe in karma. Believe karma comes back. So don't be surprised when civilians start retaliating on cops, because I see that coming too.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, well, hey, it is what it is. It's your fault. Karma got to come back. You can't be left unturned. Not at all. I'm not making up threats. I'm just telling you what is. I have nothing to do with it. But however the universe deals with that, that's what you deserve. You deserve everything you get. And I don't feel sorry.
Exactly.
So
So yeah, that was from Wikipedia, people. You can
make sure
follow
y'all
up and
check it
read all
out.
the links on it.
Check that out, y'all, on Wikipedia. I have one from abcnews.go.com. The headline reads: Australian woman fatally shot by police in Minneapolis after calling 911. This was published on July 17th. So I'm just adding to Jay's. If I reiterate something, I apologize in advance. All right, now to the article. A woman was shot and killed by a Minneapolis police officer on Saturday after she called 911 to report a possible assault near her home just before midnight, authorities said. The woman was fatally struck near her home in Minneapolis Ford neighborhood after two police officers responded to 911 call around 11:30 p.m. local time, according to authorities. Officials have not released the woman's identity, but ABC's Minnesota affiliate KSTP identified her as Justine Diamond, a 40-year-old Australian native who had been living in the area with a fiance. The two were planning to get married next month, according to KSTP, which is August. The Minneapolis Police Department told ABC News on Sunday that both officers were placed on paid administrative leave pending investigation of the shooting. The Minnesota Department of Public Safety Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which is investigating the shooting along with the NPE, said that the officers' body cameras and the squad camera were not on at that time. Investigators are working on to determine whether any video of the shooting exists, the department said. The BCA said the investigation is in its very early stages and more information will become available once initial interviews with incident participants and any witnesses are complete, according to a statement released Sunday. The department said the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office will conduct an autopsy to determine Damon's cause of death. It said the information must be released after her family is notified. Minneapolis Mayor Betsy Hodges said in a statement released late Sunday, "Tonight, I'm sad and disturbed. This is a tragedy for the family, for a neighborhood I know well, and for our whole city. My thoughts are with the family and the community." More than 300 people gathered for a vigil on Sunday evening near the site of the shooting. Policing the concept is an unchecked variable in this nation. One vigil attendee said, according to KSTP, "What we need to do is to be together, and what they've spent centuries doing is keeping us apart." The Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade said it is providing counsel assistance to Damon's family members and released a statement on their behalf. There's a very difficult time for our family. This is a very difficult time for our family. We are trying to come to terms with this tragedy and to understand why this has happened, it said. We will not make any further comment or statement and ask you respect our privacy. Thank you. Now, this part that says uh, pol- policing the concept is an unchecked variable in this nation. A visual attendee said this. Now that stuck out to me because that is so true what that person said. Policing is unchecked. Like they're not policing the right people. And if you're gonna police someone, police those who deserve to be policed, like the criminals, the rapists, the child molesters, the robbers, the thieves, anyone that causing any kind of destruction in the neighborhood, who are disturbing the neighborhood, who are hurting the neighborhood, those are the people that should be policed and checked. Not just random ass civilians. It just don't make any damn sense. And she's right on the part, or he or she is right on the part where they say what we need to do is be together. And spent centuries doing is keeping us apart. Now, black people, we have a bad rep with with police according to them, and black people don't care for the police. I mean, that's a given. That's no surprise there. But this unchecked variable is something that us black people deal with. Well, yeah, black people and police don't deal with it. That we're checking for them to do. I'm saying policing. So the disconnect between the police and the black people has kept us apart because how they handle situations, their attitudes, their mindsets. Who want to deal with a fool like that? You don't want to be associated with no kind of person like that. For one, they work for the system, so they're not for you anyway. I mean, but I get that part, so I get it. It does keep everyone apart, divided, fight each other. Hey, the system don't work for black people. So hey, it is what it is with that. But I mean, it's sad that what happened to this Australian woman. You know, I mean, it was highly publicized, but I mean, there's so many cases with black people that's been killed, and they be highly publicized. On, I mean, my I sympathize with the situation, but only reason why it's being so the only reason I was so highly publicized because she was white. Just have to be honest. It is a race thing. She has a white privilege, so they're gonna make sure this story gets out, and she portrayed in a certain way. Because if that was a black woman, it wouldn't be publicized in the same way. So we gotta keep that in mind. But I mean, like I said, man, it was a sad situation. It was fucked up what the police did, and they should pay for what they did to that woman. And I feel like that should be equal across the board, especially for black people. If you're gonna seek justice for this white Australian woman, then that same amount of energy should be equal for black people. Whether it's a black man or a black woman, they all should have justice. If it's not justified because of something the police did, then justice should be served. I mean, but you can't even trust the police. So it's like, who do you turn to? Who do you trust? It's kind of like, so yeah, we need to get back as a race and police our own communities. Start putting unchecked variables in place. Keep that bullshit out of our communities. So that's what I say to that. I do want to read this other article here. Let me close this down. Let's see what I got right here. I want to pull up something else. I want to pull up something about her family, like what they had to say to the whole situation. So let me pull that up. 1 second, guys. It's gonna take me a second. Wait a minute. Okay. But yeah, in general, I mean, the police is out of control, man. Like, yeah, I mean, there's definitely gotta be harsher rules set. They need to check their actions at the door because that's starting to affect everyone, and people are losing their lives over their stupidity. And it shouldn't take tragedies for the system to change how they operate in the police system at all. You know, it's a shame, guys. I mean, this country, America, has got to do better. So I'm gonna read. Let's see. This is coming from NBCNews.com. The headline reads: Family of Justine Diamond, Australian woman killed by Minneapolis police, calls for thorough investigation after prosecutor's remarks. This was published December 20th, 2017. The father of an Australian woman who was fatally shot by a Minneapolis police officer this summer said her family is concerned by recent comments by the district attorney that appeared to cast doubt on the investigation into her death. What are we to think? We are deeply concerned about the possibility that the initial investigation was not done properly. John Rushizik, the father of Justine Diamond, said at a news conference in Australia Thursday morning local time. Officer Muhammad Noah fatally shot 40-year-old Damon on July 15th after she called police to report a possible assault near her house. Damon had already taken the last name of her fiance, whom she was set to marry the following month. Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman candidly told activists earlier this month that prosecutors don't have enough evidence to charge Noah and said investigators who do not work for his office haven't done their job. Freeman later apologized to the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension for the remarks and said he was wrong to discuss the agency's work on the case in that setting. Noah's partner, Officer Matthew Harity, told investigators he was startled by a loud sound just before Damon approached the driver's side window of the police SUV. Harity said Noah then fired his weapon from the passenger seat, hitting Damon. We implore Mr. Freeman and the prosecutor's office to continue to pursue a rigorous investigation and examination of evidence of the events leading to Justine's death, John Rushizik said. We expect them to fill in any gaps in the BCA's work honestly and fairly but completely. Freeman said in a video statement on Monday that he was not aware his comments about the case were being recorded. He said that no one cares more about justice in this matter than I do. Freeman said his office would share more news about the status of its charging decision in the case next week. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension said in a statement Wednesday that the BCA is committed to conducting a fair, impartial, and thorough investigation as we gather the facts and evidence in this case, and that it presented its case file to the Hennepin County Attorney on September 12th. We have consulted with that office from the very beginning of this investigation and will continue to work with them as needed to provide any additional information that they deem appropriate as they review the case, the Bureau said. John Rushizik said that while some activist groups may have their own agenda, no one can speak for Justine but her family in Australia or the man she was to be married to, Don Damon of Minneapolis. So this is coming from NBC News once again. like I said, man, the police and their fucking stupidity, the violence is getting out of control. It's getting too sickening, and something has to be done because guess what? If the citizens don't have faith in the police, guess what's going to happen? The effect of that, the people gonna take it to their own hand and start policing, and that's actually going directly at the police, and that's gonna be a whole huge problem. So the police need to step up and do their job as it's supposed to, how it was truly set up on. Now I do know that police and black people, we have nothing to do with the police because for one, the system not designed for us. Number two, how the police system was found to catch slaves. That's how the police was built. They just have a prestige status because they got on a badge, and but all it was to capture slaves with guns. So therefore, we know it's not designed for us. The mission is to kill black people, and like Jay said, with her job, even if there was black police officers, so the white ones and the black ones was all commanded to target black people, and a lot of times kill them. Because again, I'm going back to what I said. It's designed. The system was. I'm saying police. I'm not talking about government. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm speaking on the police system. That was designed originally to kill slaves, well, capture slaves and kill slaves. Black. So y'all black people need to keep that in mind. Stop having so much faith in police like they're gonna do their job. I understand all citizens pay tax money to these police systems so that way they can conduct themselves as officers to the community accordingly, because that is their job to do that because we pay their tax, we pay out of our tax money to them. So they should be doing their job. But unfortunately, black people, y'all should know that's not gonna happen because it's built on white supremacy. And their job is to take us out. And that is it. There's no reasoning with them. There's no trying to talk your way out of it. I don't care if you look like a thug. I don't care if you dress properly. I don't care if you talk a certain way. I don't care if you're Muslim, you're more, whatever you identify with, whatever you represent yourself as, whatever your lifestyle is, they do not care about that. All they looking at is, nigga, D, you're the target. So now as black people, we got to start figuring out a way to police our own communities. But outside of that, if you're not black, if you just, like I said, the end result of this, if police don't step up and do their job as they're assigned, as they're actually assigned to do, given by the community because they paid it, their citizens pay their tax money, then the people will take it to their own hands eventually. And we don't want that because that's going to be a huge problem. So, police, y'all need to step the fuck up. Step it up.
And I will say also, just based on my in addition, plus my own personal opinion as well, I do believe that there is a small handful of decent police officers. Unfortunately, I feel as though there's more bad police officers globally than good, because they get so they are more trigger happy than ever on the rise. They shoot, don't ask questions, and have gotten real tired, especially from my black and brown community, of telling me how me being light skinned, that I have more privilege, I have more opportunities. Now maybe perhaps a small portion of that, as far as light skin, brown skin, dark skin, may have some truth to it, and I'm really just probably saying that just to be saying that. But based on my experience, let me tell you, I have been stopped by black and white cops pulling guns out on me, falsely being falsely identified as someone else, being called by both black and white the N-word. And I don't like the N-word coming from nobody. I don't care if it is my own black and brown community. I personally don't. I'm personally, now anybody else can take it as they want. I'm personally offended by you calling me the N-word. I ain't your homie. I'm not, don't respect me with the name that I was born with, which is Aisha. Or you can call me Nate, Jade, my nickname. But the N-word makes me feel some kind of way. From black and brown to the white or European. It makes me cringe, however, when the European, he don't see me as no, I'm light skinned, I'm a light skinned Asiatic woman. I wasn't getting no privilege. That gun was to my head. And so there was no privilege. He wanted to blow my brains out. But probably the universe itself, he got back in his car. I guess he got a call on the dispatch and went ahead about his business. So please, I don't have the privilege. I don't have it. And we need to get out of that mind frame. It's a pet peeve of mine. And I've stated that to Uno several times. I have several conversations about things that go on, about people, especially our black and brown, that say to me, I got privilege. That just rubs me the wrong way. That's just so damn ignorant. I don't get that. We're supposed to be a unity, a village. We're supposed to be supportive of each other. I don't see that. That's very small what I see, and it's a shame because while these people act the way that they act, other communities are watching us. I kind of already know what to expect from other cultures, sadly. And I'm really basing this on experience. That's why when I say I speak from experience. And I know all people are not bad because I have met some decent people. I have. But when you have your own experience and you speak your truth about that, you can't help but think about it. So we need to come together. It would be nice if all lives mattered. But sadly, it doesn't.
It don't.
It just does not.
Get out of that fairy tale.
And I've seen some Europeans, or white, that I guess they feel like their ancestors before them, the dirt and the shit that they did, I guess they feel bad and want to call themselves trying to make it up in their own kind of way. You can't make it up. Not to me. You still gotta not my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Ancestors still gotta pay for that.
So we just need to. I can't even. Man, the stuff that I've seen in my lifetime. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So yeah, we got to do better.
We gotta do way better, man. Get out we gotta colorism.
Do
we got
that colorism thing. I mean, we need to stop.
We got bigger things to worry about. That's what really boils down to. After you saying all that, it get down to the hell what the color is. Because at the end of the day, you still a nigga to the world. Especially to the police. Whether you light skin, brown skin, dark skin.
We getting on the colorism. We getting on the homophobianism. We getting on your shapeism. Like, you know, the thick girls got problems with the slim girls. The slim girls got problems with the thick girls.
Even the
curvy is somewhere in between, trying to figure out what's what. Then the hair. You're not natural unless you're locking. Bullshit. I'm not locking.
Natural is natural.
Natural is natural. You don't have to necessarily and truth be told, I mean, natural is no color in your hair, no perms and relaxers and all that. But people, men and women, we do what we do. So how dare you tell me I'm not natural because I'm not, dreadlocked or, anything like that. Who the hell are you to tell me what I identify.
What I think natural,
what I identify as.
When I hear natural, I think short hair, afro, dreads, no use of color. I mean, no, I'm saying when I mean color, I mean in your hair, putting dye in your hair, use natural products. That's what I think when I think natural. You just going out into the world with your own set of hair, what you're born with. You love yourself. You rock what you are comfortable in.
Right. And even for those that want to wear the weaves and all that, leave them the hell alone. We got more things to worry about. Rather, if a person wears a wig, a weave, a lace, a frontal, or whatever the correct terminology is, let them be who they are. If they're comfortable in their skin, let them be who they are. Because listen, the real shit of this is that what we're reading and what we're talking about is happening presently. Homelessness is on the rise. Pedophilia is on the rise. Rape, molestation, unemployment. I mean, there's just so much that's on the rise. It's bigger. It's a bigger picture than if I'm light, if I'm brown or dark, if I'm straight or gay or bi, if what clique am I in? It's more bigger things. It's more things to focus on.
Throwing money up in the club.
Let's build businesses. Let's go back to Black Wall Street. How about that? Let's go back to Black Wall Street. Listen, let's do some investing. Who the hell cares, personally, for me, about Love and Hip Hop? I haven't watched that in forever, but I can guarantee you, I hear enough about it on Facebook and any social media that I don't need to look at it because I can catch up with it just from y'all.
You can follow the recaps on social media.
Right. Exactly. Why I need to watch it when y'all gonna recap it for us? So thank you.
Y'all tell everything on Facebook. Y'all know.
Let's do businesses. Right. Let's do some investing. Let's educate our children. Let's educate them early to know about investing. Okay, I wish I could see me with my hands. I'm in my Philly mode right now.
You in your damn feelings. You going hard.
I'm passionate.
Yeah, I see.
Let's educate children. They don't have to be yours. Let's educate them on how to open up businesses. Let's educate them because everybody's not a business entrepreneur, and that's okay. So for those that want to be educated and be a business owner, let's teach them that. For those that want to be out here in the corporate world, let's teach. Hell, kids and people, it's sad when you don't know how to fill out a damn application. I just got to be honest. You don't know how to fill out an application. You don't know how to read or write. You don't know how to interview well.
Set up a bank account.
Open up and set up a bank account. Dress for an interview, speak in an interview the right way, articulate. In other words, but you know how to have sagging ass pants,
rap every word to the rapper song,
rap every trap, including having your kids rap the trap with they damn hanging ass pull-ups.
They diapers. Hey, little baby.
They know how to, they know the curse words, though they don't know how to spell them, but they know the curse words.
Hey, little baby trying to rap like them,
right?
Little mumble ass rapper.
Women, if you lay down, and I'm a product of, yes, I had my 2 kids out of wedlock and I was young. However, that doesn't mean that life is over. Yes. Y'all need to stop having these kids hanging out. You pimping them on the streets. You go down 5 points. Trust me, you will see it every day. They get up in the morning. It's like they have a job. They get up in the morning and they be on the street with their children. Tricking off, selling drugs, pimping their kids
exposing their kids to all that.
Women getting pimped out and exposed. They do this an 8-hour shift or a 10-hour shift.
So they do it when underground closed down. This is every week.
This is every day.
A routine. I just put every week. Every week.
Every day, 7 days a week. You are doing this. It's just sad. And I know it's happening globally. just because I live in Atlanta. I'm speaking about Atlanta, but I can speak about
Stop taking
Philly.
attention off yourselves,
I
black
can
people.
speak about Philly. I can speak about anywhere
But
that
I'm
I've
gonna say
been.
this: stop taking attention off yourselves. We speaking about black matters right now. I don't give a fuck about any other race right now. Okay, now go back to what you're saying.
It's just sad globally. We got bigger things to deal with.
Right.
And I'm all for my people. Like other races are all for their people. Right. I commend you. I'm all for my people too. They get the hell on my nerves, but at the end of the day, I'm still all for black unity. We need it. It's necessary.
Very necessary. I gotta put the very because this is sad right now.
We got our black brothers and sisters incarcerated repeatedly. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got mental health on the rise, suicide on the rise, violence
continue to rise.
I mean, come on now. You can watch whatever you want to watch, but be diverse. No, there's other things besides that. We can't keep pushing it off looking at these reality shows because it's half truth and half false.
So look, when it's done, when the show's over, you still gotta sit there with that issue.
You still gotta sit there, and these
so
people.
What now?
And these people they still paid. Moving on to the next time they do their show. I mean, seriously. So the article that I wanted to read, it just trips me out. How long we got for this show? Because we ain't done yet.
No, we gonna do what we gotta do, man. We can go on to the next subject, but she was on her mission over here, proving a point to y'all. It's true.
Exactly. I want y'all to read. I'm just gonna tell you where it's coming from. Read it at your leisure. It's coming from policeone.com. Again, policeone.com, and we're gonna post it up. It's titled "Prosecutor: More Time Needed to Decide Whether to Charge Cop in Justine Diamond's Case." This was yesterday at 7 a.m. Attorney Mike Freeman has promised a charging decision by year's end, but on Thursday he said his office was getting more information. So please just read this when you get a chance, because it looks as though there hasn't been any type of verdict or anything as far as this Mohammed Noor's trial or decision making in the murder of Justine Diamond. So read that. It's coming from policeone.com. So let me know what you're going to read. You can go ahead.
Well, we're going to go on to the next subject, so we might as well go ahead and get right to it. Erica Gardner. Well, Eric. Let's start with Eric first. Eric Gardner. Then we'll talk about his daughter, Erica Gardner. But in all, I'm going to just tell you that the subjects is actually these two, and there's three more. There's three more people. Kendrick Johnson, Jordan Edwards, and Bill Cosby. We can do Bill Cosby last, but we want to touch on these other brothers and this sister. So, okay, it's just so much going on, man. All right, this is coming from MSNBC. The headline reads: Eric Gardner was killed by more than just a chokehold. This was published on August 5th, 2014. Eric Garner, a Staten Island father of 6, was tragically killed last month by New York Police Department officer Daniel Pantaleo when he put the asthmatic Garner into a legal chokehold. His death was recently ruled a homicide by the New York City Medical Examiner's Office, and Mayor Bill de Blasio has vowed to work with all authorities involved to ensure a fair and justified outcome. The mayor's response and examiner's ruling are both indictments of Officer Panaleo's actions, which were already illegal according to the NYPD's own guidelines. Officers are not supposed to use this tactic of essentially choking someone into unconsciousness to subdue them. But there were a lot of things Pantaleo and his fellow officers did that day that went beyond the extremes of bad policing. On the day of his death, bystanders say Garner was breaking up a fight when he caught the eye of the police. The NYPD claims officers had previously targeted Garner for selling untaxed individual cigarettes. Garner wanted to know why he was being harassed, and he paid for that query with his life. In America, we're not supposed to kill people for questioning an officer or for speaking up for themselves, except, of course, when we do. Implicit bias. The attitudes and stereotypes that affect our judgments and behavior, often at a level below conscious awareness, can begin to explain how the innocuous actions of one man became a deadly incident. In a study on how implicit bias affects policing, renowned UCLA psychologist Philip Goff found that blatant outward signs of racism are not, in fact, the key predictor of police using excessive force in an encounter. His research found that upwards of 90% of our actions are determined by implicit beliefs, not explicit ones. And everyone tested by Goff associated black people with more negative traits than white people. Jelani Cobb recently wrote in the New Yorker regarding segregation in schools. It is clear that the notion of segregation as a discrete phenomenon, an evil that could be flipped like a switch from on or off by a judicial edict, was deeply naive. The same is true for judicial switches for state-sanctioned violence against African American men. You can't legislate away the fact that we've been brought up in a culture that imbues us all with implicit bias. It is that bias which makes laws that bar chokeholds or discourage officers from shooting unarmed people ineffective, especially when it comes to black men. Hold on, let me see. Okay. To stop homicides like that of Eric Garner or the NYPD chokehold deaths of Michael Stewart in 1993 and Anthony Baez in 1994, we can't just ban chokeholds. The NYPD the NYPD already did that years ago. We need a culture change to stop them, a change in thinking about what motives excessive force and education around how implicit bias affects us all. How the nuisance of selling untaxed tobacco becomes a death sentence is a riddle answered by implicit bias. Instead of seeing Garner as an individual, a father, a human being, voicing his frustration at being targeted, which happened repeatedly, according to Garner in the video of the incident and statements by Garner's widow after his death. Police responded to Garner as a threat. Despite the fact that Garner did not fight back, the police seemed more focused on piling on Garner, ignoring his many cries of "I can't breathe." The officers chose to escalate their response, and the keyword is choice, as Garner did not physically attack them, responding to his words with a violent arrest that ultimately killed him. So far, no one has been held responsible for Garner's death. There have been no charges, not even someone thrown off the job. The NYPD has vowed to retrain its officers on use of force, but why didn't that training stick for the officers involved in Garner's death the first time? Instead, officers must learn what biases they unconsciously bring to the forefront when policing communities. Do they see people to help or people who need to be controlled? Do they see the phrase protect the serve as something for the community, or do they serve an us versus them code, only protecting those on the right side of the thin blue line? Is a black man voicing his dissent just that, or is he a threat? Until the NYPD officers holding authority to use state-sanctioned force began to understand why they use that force differentially against people of color, the senseless deaths are bound to continue. Like me and Jay expressed not too long ago in this show. Exactly. It's going to continue until police change the way they handle the citizens. Tighten the fuck up. There's no fucking excuse. Now I know at times, I've been wanting to do it. I'm sure Jay has. Anybody has. I know at certain times, depending on the situation of a black man, they're like, well, why did he do this? Well, he shouldn't even been there. Why he didn't put himself in there? Why did he do that? But we can't always keep blaming the black men or the black woman that gets in the situation. We need to start holding the police accountable for their actions too. Because this part here says Okay. Officers must learn what biases they constantly bring to the forefront when policing communities. So, do they see people to help or people who need to be controlled? Now, I'm going with the second one because that's how their mindset is altered. I mean, it's calculated or well set up in their mind. It's set up that way. Their mindset. They want to control the community. Do they see the phrase protect serve as something for the community, or do they serve an us versus them? That second one, that's exactly how their mind is set up. Us versus them. They feel like this is a war between the police and blacks. Because again, going back to what I said earlier in the podcast, the system's not designed for us anyway because it's set up where they're supposed to kill black people.
Mm-hmm.
And all the rules and guidelines and regulations that are constructed within the police system is designed to help the policemen and not the victims or the civilians. And I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, what are your thoughts on this article?
I mean, it's just sad. It just really is. It's personal to me in the aspect of I'm not related to Eric Gardner, but for all the brothers and the sisters that have got murdered, because to me that's what it is. They got murdered. That's why it just kind of makes me upset because we need to stop doing some of the things. We need to take responsibility. And again, like you said, Una, the police need to take responsibility as well. So it's just sad when we lose. And I'm gonna just have to call it for what it is, like it or leave it. There is, my opinion, there is racism when it comes to how things are taken care of or how actions are taken when it comes to black and white. Yep. It is.
It is. It's what it is.
It's being shown.
It's some racist bullshit.
It's being shown. Right. It's sad to say, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Now I know I read Justine, and don't get me wrong, her death was senseless.
I just spoke on that. You about to get to where I think you about to get to.
It's just said it's that real senseless. What the hell happened to her?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. But
however, all these black killings, female or male, because we talk about the males, but there's been quite a few females that have been murdered. What's her name?
Sandra Bland.
Major story. They made her look like her ass was alive when her ass was dead.
Taking mugshots.
Her ass was already dead. Yo, like, what is that?
Because she was defending her rights.
Right. She was defending her rights. The other sister, the other sister, the light-skinned sister, who was with her son, and them cops killed her because she spoke her mind. She spoke up.
A little her too rights much for the police.
She spoke a little too much for them. Police. But she knew what she was talking about. She wasn't going to back down. Mm-hmm. Everybody not scared of cops.
Nope.
And if it means that they have to die for a cause,
so be it.
Then so be it for them.
It is what it is.
This police thing, that's something that Muhammad Noor with Justine Diamond, that's a rarity. Kind of like,
again, it was highly publicized because she was white. She was white. Let's be real about it. I said that in the show.
It's just, and even when our brown brothers and sisters get in the media, like, there is no justice. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, the white boy who killed the people in the church.
Oh Lord.
Not a damn thing happened to him.
Dylan Roof.
Not one thing happened to him.
Nope.
The police took him to Burger King, McDonald's to get some lunch. They thought the shit was funny. Clearly, the little young white boy said, I don't have no mental issues. Because, of course, they do the whole psychological testing thing. He said, I knew everything I was doing. I meant to do it.
But let a black man say that.
He's going to be put underground. Believe that. He's going to be buried under the ground.
He ain't getting out of jail.
The guy, Tamir, what's his name?
Rice.
Tamir Rice. Ain't nothing happened to that fool. The one who killed him.
Yeah, he got off.
He
wasn't convicted of
ain't nothing happened to the cops.
No.
Ain't nothing happened to a lot of the Philando
Castile.
Ain't nothing happened to that police officer.
Nope.
Nothing.
But his girlfriend is, I think, did she have a lawsuit against that department, and she had won that money for. Now, I mean, psychological mental damage. I mean,
right.
She got money for that, but that's not gonna bring her.
That's
man
not.
back.
Yeah,
that's
he's not coming back. So there's no money that's gonna bring a loved one back.
Here, that's gonna.
That's
be
not replaceable.
That's gonna be pain she has to deal with the rest of her
every
life.
day, and her child,
right,
and the daughter. That's something that has psychologically messed her. That if it hasn't messed her child up, she's gonna be dealing with a lot of that. The older
she's
that
gonna hate cops. She's gonna hate when she grow up.
And getting into, and my prayers continue to go up to Eric Gardner and his family, because now his daughter Erica Gardner,
which she has been very active since her father died.
Right. I'm not going to read anything for Eric Gardner because you did. So I'm going to read this for his daughter Erica. So Eric Gardner's daughter. Excuse me. This is coming from CNN.com. Eric Gardner's daughter, activist Erica Garner, 27, dies after heart attack. This was updated today, December 31st. Eric Gardner, an activist for social justice and the eldest daughter of the man who died from a police chokehold in New York, July 2014, which is her father, Eric Gardner, died on Saturday morning, days after suffering a heart attack, her mother, Esau Snipes, said. She was a fighter, she was a warrior, and she lost the battle, Snipes said of her daughter. She never recovered from when her father died. Mm-hmm. She is in a better place. Gardner, 27, suffered from the effects of an enlarged heart after giving birth to her son 3 months ago, Snipes said. I warned her every day, you have to slow down. You have to relax and slow down, she said. Gardner went into cardiac arrest earlier the week and suffered major brain damage from a lack of oxygen, her Twitter account said. Erica, the world loves you. I love you. I am glad you came into our lives. May you find the peace in the next life that you deserve while you were here. I will always love you, my sister. Love you. Gardner's Twitter account, which is run by her family, said. When you report this, you remember she was human, a mother, a daughter, a sister, aunt. Her heart was bigger than the world. It really, really was, her account said. She cared when most people wouldn't have. She was good. She only pursued right, no matter what. No one gave her justice. Erica Gardner is the eldest daughter of Eric Gardner, a 43-year-old father of 6. In July 2014, police attempted to arrest Eric Gardner for allegedly selling cigarettes illegally in Staten Island. Video of the incident shows New York police officer Daniel Pantalo tackling Eric from behind and taking him to the ground using a department-banned chokehold. Eric Gardner, who had asthma, was pronounced dead that day. His apparent last words, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, became a rallying cry for protesters and outraged citizens who said the incident showed that law enforcement abused their power and mistreated people of color. His death was ruled a homicide, but a grand jury decided not to indict Pantel- Pant- Pantaleo on criminal charges. The city of New York settled with Eric Gardner's estate for 5.9 million in July 2015. Erica Gardner became a prominent activist in the wake of her father's death, pushing for political change and social justice broadly aligned with the Black Lives Matter movement. She told CNN's Don Lemon in 2014 she believed her father's death had more to do with police misconduct than race. I can't really say it's a black and white issue, she said. It's about the police officer and abusing their power. During the 2016 Democratic presidential primaries, she endorsed Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont and prominently appeared in an ad for his campaign. I feel like a representative for people throughout the whole nation because I'm doing this. I'm speaking out, me being his daughter, she said in the ad. That's what I want to do. I just want to tell my truth. Erica had to fight for justice. A number of Black Lives Matter activists and prominent politicians have praised her life and fight over the past few days. When you were her friend, you were her friend through all adversity, activist Sean King said on Twitter. She was a fierce protector of her friends and family, a truth teller, as genuine and authentic of a soul you'll ever encounter. We're less because of this loss. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, who has often been the target of Gardner's criticisms, offered his condolences on Saturday. Erica Gardner's death is a horrible tragedy. I am praying for her family who have already been through so much. This city will miss her unshakable sense of justice and passion for humanity, he said. Saunders praised her as an exceptional young woman and offered his condolences. So you have looks like Twitter accounts coming, comments coming from Bernie Sanders. I had the honor of getting to know Erica, and I was inspired by the commitment she made working towards a more just world for her children and future generations. She was a fighter for justice and will not be forgotten, he said. Some activists suggested that the NYPD and its systems of power bore some responsibility for her death. I'm with that. I believe it. The police killed her unarmed, nonviolent father with an illegal chokehold and got off with nary a word. Brittany Packnett, a leader in the Black Lives Matter movement and co-founder of Campaign Zero, said on Twitter, Erica had to fight for justice, then her own life. She didn't deserve this. Her father didn't deserve this. Her family doesn't deserve this. All this for being Black in America. I can't. Reverend Al Sharpton, fake ass, made a similar point in lauding Erica Gardner as a warrior to the end in her fight for justice on Saturday morning at a meeting with the National Action Network. Told you I'm just saying what I got to say for 2017. Many will say that Erica died of a heart attack, but that's only partially true because her heart was already broken when she couldn't get justice for her father, he said. I can believe that. Whatever the asthma and the others attacked was a piece of the heart left. Her heart was attacked by a system that would choke her dad and not hold accountable those that did it. If anything, she would want us to do in memory of her is keep fighting for justice and keep fighting for families, he said. So some of that I can deal with. I just still think he's a full of shit in general person, Al Sharpton, but I definitely believe like a lot of this. She had a broken heart. She had just lost her father like a couple years ago. Back in 2014 is 27. And she probably did have some health problems, but that's still fresh. You losing your father. You lost your father. And that's something, she was fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And I mean, my prayers go up to her too. I think for 2018, we need to get involved with something when it comes to this, as well as our other brown brothers and sisters. We need to.
We gotta, yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're not blood related to you, because they are our community, our people, our brown brothers and sisters. We need to.
They are family.
They are family, regardless.
Right.
Like other communities, races do it. why can't we act like we can't get it in our thick ass skulls to like
And stick together, man.
stick together? Forget all this animosity, can't stand you
Differences.
because I see you happy in your relationship or just happy in life. I'm miserable, so I want your life to be miserable. Let me be
You don't want to see
nasty.
another brother
Let me
sister succeed.
let me be nasty towards you and throw out all this negative energy.
They don't want. They don't want
And
y'all.
that includes family too, because family can do the same
Yo,
damn
you
thing.
sure on a roll, ain't you? I'm trying to get a word in, but it's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. You on a roll. Go ahead.
I'm passionate just like you be
Yeah,
passionate in shows.
Go ahead.
So stop.
Go ahead. You on a
So
roll.
mm.
Well, I get what you're saying though. I mean, all these differences and beefs and disagreements and pettiness. It's just unacceptable. It gotta stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we really gotta stop it, man. Cause we got bigger issues to worry about. Like stuff like this is the issues we gotta worry about as black people. We gotta worry about walking out the house every day.
Right.
And make sure we don't get shot down.
Absolutely.
Our people, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. We got stuff. We got bigger fish to fry. We need to worry about things that are important. I have an article. Well, do you have? You don't have no other articles from
for the gardeners? No.
Okay. Now we're gonna move on to Jordan Edwards. Now since we're talking about injustice, another crime here that was committed by the police, but this is in Texas. This is coming from Mike.com. The headline reads: Jordan Edwards, 15-year-old honor roll student, killed in shooting by Texas police. The chief of police in Balch Springs, Texas, said Sunday that one of his officers shot into a car full of teenagers because the vehicle had moved toward police officers in an aggressive manner. But by Monday, he had to walk back that story. The Balch Springs police officer opened fire on the teens as their vehicle drove away, Chief Jonathan Haber said in a news conference, according to the Washington Post. The shooting, which occurred Saturday night in the Dallas-Fort Worth suburb, killed 15-year-old high school freshman and honor roll student Jordan Edwards, a family lawyer told the Dallas Morning News. Edwards, who is black, was leaving a party with his 60-year-old brother and three other teenage friends when they heard gunshots. Officers claimed they were responding to a call of drunk teens. Haber has not said whether any of the teens in the vehicle were armed, but he initially released a statement that said the teens' vehicle was backing down the street in a manner that was threatening to officers, seemingly blaming the teens for the officers' use of force. I unintentionally was incorrect when I said the vehicle was backing down the road. In fact, I can tell you that I do have questions in relation to my observation of the video, Haber said, according to the Post. After reviewing the video, I don't believe that the shooting met our core values. The chief also declined to release said video footage publicly while the shooting was being investigated. Before Monday's press conference, Haber had offered his condolences to Edwards' family, the Morning News reported. On behalf of the entire Balch Springs Police Department and the city of Balch Springs, we express our deep, sincere condolences to the family. Haber said on Sunday, we will continue to reach out to the parents and keep them informed as we move forward from this point. A criminal investigation is underway by the Dallas County District Attorney's Office and the Dallas County Sheriff's Department, but the Edwards family has already called for the yet-to-be-named officer to be arrested and charged. Lee Merritt, the family attorney, said the dead teen's parents want the officer identified in the video of the shooting released. Merritt addressed members of local media and outlets on Monday. We are declaring war on bad policing. This has happened far too often, he said, according to the Post. We are tired of making the same rhetorical demands of having the same hashtags. A community is fed up with the same tired excuses, once again offered by Balch Springs Police Department yesterday, that this was somehow the fault of the victims. Teenage kids with no criminal records, with no motive to attempt to hurt anyone, with no evidence that they ever attempted to hurt anyone. The Edwards family attorney also tweeted the shooting on Sunday, and his tweet was by the guy named is S. Lee Merritt. He says an unarmed 50-year-old died after being shot in the head by Ball Springs PD, Texas. The cop shot multiple rounds into a car filled with teens, and he posts up Jordan Edwards' picture, and he has a few more tweets. So this was posted in April, so if you want to check him out, you got to go to his Twitter, which is s.lee Merritt, Merritt, comma ESQ. Now I'm gonna read the rest of the little story, and then I'm gonna comment. According to the Morning News, Merritt said Edwards and his friends have not been drinking and were not teens police have been called about. None of the teens face any charges, the attorney said. Boys left the party because they heard that police were on their way, Merritt said, according to the Post. When they got to their car, which was parked outside, they saw flashlights and heard gunshots. Someone yelled profanities as they got in the car. Merritt said shortly after they were fired upon. Merritt said the teens fled for a block before they realized that Edwards had smoke coming from his head, at which point his older brother pulled the car over and flagged down a police cruiser for help. They're never going to be the same, Merritt said, according to the Post. These kids are never going to be the same. Merritt also represents the Black Fourth Ward mother who in December was forced to the ground by an officer after she had called police to report a white neighbor who allegedly assaulted her 7-year-old son. Video from the woman's arrest went viral. Edwards' shooting is the second incident in recent months to raise questions of racial insensitivity and excessive force in the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area. Okay, and this was published. Let's see. I think this article was published in April. I'm gonna make sure. Okay, this was actually published on May 1st, 2017. Well, it's been updated. This story has been updated, but I'm sure this was posted a month or two ago. Again, man.
Gotta shake your head on it.
I mean, to keep reading about this stuff, man, it just becomes too much. It just gets tiring. It's like, you reach your breaking point. It's like, when is this shit gonna stop? But it's not gonna stop. The excessive force that the police use is just very unnecessary, and I just feel like there is other ways they can deal with situations like this. And I can understand what Erica Garner said about race, but I had to disagree with her. Race plays a huge part of why Eric Garner is not here right now. Her father.
Because I've definitely seen where that other one that was in the media, in the news, where those white cops had they had arrested a white man, and he was acting all inappropriate and
irate.
Stuff. Irate.
I think
and all they did was they tased him, and that's it.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
I mean, he was out of control. Yeah, he was really out of control, and all them cops did was tase him. That's it.
They didn't treat him equally as how black men get killed. Yeah, they did. They did. You're right. They tased him. They didn't do nothing else.
Nothing.
No shooting.
No, they
no
didn't shoot him.
Down.
No beat down. No choke holding. No
behind shot.
Right. Nothing. Just like I said with that
white privilege.
That's why I said with that little young white boy, they took his ass to a fast food and got him some food, and they sat, ate, and laughed like it was funny.
He got catered to.
And black people, I know y'all do what y'all do. Y'all want to get around in a circle, and y'all want to pray and say forgive, but I guess I'm not there. Because if you killed my family,
I ain't no forgiving.
My mind ain't thinking about forgiving nothing. My mind is thinking about retaliating.
Because the first time I'm thinking is fuck the police, fuck them all. And like
you gotta be honest.
I'm gonna want to retaliate. That was me.
So I'm not there to sit around and be like, well, let's just forgive them.
Kumbaya.
Let's kumbaya. Get in a circle. Yeah, I'm not.
Make it a better place, and it's not gonna be a better place. This ain't no Michael Jackson.
It gets worse.
The world. Right? Y'all that Michael Jackson heal the world. We no. It's not gonna happen. That's not the reality. I wish it was that way. I wish I'm sure a lot of us wanted it to be that way, but unfortunately, that's just not how society is running right now at all.
Sidebar: how much time we have left before I say I'm going to do this or not?
Do what?
How much time do we have before we're done?
Oh, I mean, we can do that and
Okay.
then
Okay.
do
I just wanted to make sure.
yeah, and then yeah, we just you can read that last thing and we can wrap it up. And anything else people want to check out, I'm gonna post it. I'll make sure. Kenya Johnson, Bill Cosby, I'll make sure to post it.
So I'm just going to try my best to just kind of highlight. This is an update to Jordan Edwards that Uno was just reading about. This was actually 11 hours ago from dallasnews.com. Again, dallasnews.com. This was 11 hours ago. Balch Springs chief had a heavy heart when he fired cop who killed teen Jordan Edwards. That racist cracker ass.
It's all race intensity.
Yes, I said it because I'm speaking for this particular subject. Okay,
race plays a part.
If you think that race does not play a key part, yes, I said cracker because I know that they're calling me the N-word, honey, all day, every day.
They crackers. That's what they is.
I'm speaking specifically for this.
I'm talking about we talking about the white supremacists. The crackers.
Yes. Yes. You redneck Republican Texas state ass.
Country hillbilly.
You had the nerve to have a quote unquote heavy heart for firing your buddy who killed this black young man, Jordan Edwards.
This is my response to that.
In the days after Balch Springs, Officer Roy Oliver shot and killed 15-year-old Jordan Edwards, the city's police chief struggled when the decision to fire the cop he considered a friend. Like I thought they were friends, and they have a code to live by.
Mm-hmm.
Chief Jonathan Haber, whose own actions after the killings were criticized, wrote to his staff in a memo obtained by the Dallas Morning News. Today, I'm about to make the most difficult decision of my professional career. Screw your career. Officer Oliver had been a friend, a co-worker, and fellow veteran. So it is with a heavy heart that I have to indefinitely suspend him and terminate his employment with the city, he wrote 3 days after Jordan's death. The news obtained the memo, which was emailed to his staff through a public records request for the hundreds of emails the department sent or received in the days after Oliver fired his rifle on April 29th, striking Jordan in the head. Jordan was riding in a car, driving away from officers when Oliver fired multiple shots. Some emails, which included Twitter direct message, were profanity-laced missives. Others offered kind words for the department. None specifically supported Oliver. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton allowed the department to withhold some emails based on the ongoing murder case against Roy Oliver. It is not clear how many messages the department withheld. Oliver's trial was scheduled for January, but has been pushed back to June. Messages obtained by the news were sent from April 29th to May 3rd. Haber originally said Oliver fired into the car as it drove toward Oliver and another officer, Taylor Gross. But Haber corrected that statement after body camera video showed the car, driven by Jordan's brother, was driving away from the officers. So you see there was a line from the door, these police officers. And please don't, this is not made up. This is real.
This is reported. They changed their story up more than once, okay?
Jordan, his two brothers, and two friends had been at a party but left after hearing gunshots nearby. Police had been called by someone who complained of drunk teenagers, but there was no alcohol at the party. So I'm not going to read this. That's just a little bit. You can read the rest of it. You have emails from the public that wrote their feelings. You have emails to Roy Oliver, the police officer, with his raggedy ass.
I'm sure they had some
I'm sure they
crazy
had. It's a lot of explicit that they couldn't even put the words in there. They had to put the word explicitive in there because these people was letting him have it, as they should, and I feel no pity for them. And then there's emails between officers. It says, FYI, I've had 2 emails sent to my work account slamming us about the shooting. I haven't opened either one and I am deleting them. The department has received numerous threats over the past couple days.
Oh, I'm sure.
Would it be possible to temporarily remove the employee address and phone number folder from the system just in case there's a breach? Then you have support from public officials. Private messages to the department's Twitter account.
They going off.
So yeah, so I mean, come on now.
Some bullshit, man.
So again, you can read the entirety of this article from the DallasNews.com. Because I don't feel sorry for nothing. You have no pity when black people or people of color do
all
things.
Black people are getting killed.
Or black people
every
day they're getting killed. And sadly, it is a race thing. As much as people want to be in denial or they don't want to talk about it.
Stop being in denial, black people.
They want to push it under the rug. They want to, I can't believe y'all talk about this. Yes, we do. Because it's real. It's a war going on.
It's a racial war.
A racial and a spiritual war that's going on.
Yes, ma'am. What part of that y'all don't understand? I do know that it is excessive force. I'm not discrediting that at all. I do know it is, and they're not handling the civilians properly. Because there is rules to that. However, when you're singling out a particular race of people to carry out your own agenda because of your personal feelings towards the opposite race, what do you consider that? So, yeah, so race does play a part.
Absolutely.
And that's all I got to say.
Absolutely. Can I read just a little bit about Kendrick Johnson? I'm not going to go deep into it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
so this is going to be posted up on here too. Another one of our brothers, brown brothers, who was murdered senselessly. Death of Kendrick Johnson. On January 11, 2013, this coming from Wikipedia. Did we stop?
No, go ahead.
Okay. On January 11, 2013, Kendrick Johnson's body was discovered inside a rolled up wrestling mat in the gymnasium of Lowndes High School in Valdosta in the U.S. state of Georgia. This is local, where he was a student. A preliminary investigation and autopsy concluded that the death was accidental. Johnson's family had a private pathologist conduct a second autopsy, which concluded that Johnson died from blunt force trauma. On October 31st, 2013, the U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Georgia announced that his office would open a formal review into Johnson's death. On June 20th, 2016, the U.S. DOJ announced that it would not be filing any criminal charges related to Johnson's death. Kendrick Johnson's family filed a $100 million civil lawsuit against 38 individuals. The lawsuit alleged that Johnson's death was a murder and accused the respondents of a conspiracy to cover up the homicide. That lawsuit was subsequently withdrawn. A judge ordered the Johnsons and their attorney to pay more than $292,000 in legal fees to the defendant. So is this the situation where they wrap them up in newspapers or something? This is some sick shit.
In the basketball,
they stuffed his body or they did something
in the sports auditorium at the high school.
Okay. Johnson was found, this is under the death link, initial investigation. Johnson was found head first in the center of a rolled up wrestling mat in his high school gym on January 11, 2013. His body was discovered by students who had climbed up to the top of a cluster of mats, each of which stood nearly 6 feet tall and 3 feet wide. An autopsy by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation stated that Johnson had died from asphyxia, and the case was ruled an accidental death by the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office.
Ain't no damn accident.
They saying that he had fallen to the mat while looking for a shoe and
No,
died after being
no,
unable to get out.
no.
3 students told investigators that it was common for some students to store their shoes behind or under the rolled up mats. Johnson was not wearing shoes when he was found. A student at the school said that he shared a pair of Adidas shoes with Johnson, and that after gym class, Johnson would always go to the mats, jump up, and toss the shoes inside the middle of the hole. Lieutenant Jones, Stride Jones, who headed up to investigations for the Loudon County Sheriff's Office, stated, "We never had credible information that indicated this was anything other than an accident." Johnson's family questioned this. Unsatisfied with the results of the investigation, Johnson's family hired an independent autopsy, which I read before, who came to a different conclusion, finding that his death was caused by blunt force trauma. So, like, really, y'all?
The evidence is there. Like, I mean, that boy didn't fall in no mat to get a pair of shoes. I mean, how bogus of a story it is. They really think people that fucking stupid. I mean, they fucking retarded, obviously, but you could clearly see that that boy was murdered, and they try to cover up his death by rolling him in a mat, and then they had the fucking audacity to take the boy's organs, which everybody know why his organs was took, because you have a lot of organ trafficking and harvesting going on in America as we speak. Not just here, all across the world, but let's speak about America right now. He was actually the right donor for whoever it may be, so he was singled out because he was the right candidate. They killed him and took his organs, and the police covered up for each other and came up with a supposed to be a convincing story, so there won't be no attention or no one looking into the crime.
Right. And it says here, the independent autopsy found, among other things, that Johnson's body was stuffed with newspaper, as Uno was just telling you guys. The funeral home that processed the body following the GBI's autopsy stated that they never received Johnson's organs from the coroner. Johnson's internal organs were said to have been destroyed through natural process and discarded by the prosecutor before the body was sent back to Valdosta, according to the funeral home owner. That left a void, which the funeral home filled. The funeral home owner stated that it is standard practice to fill a void in this fashion, and that cotton or sawdust must also be employed for this purpose. Johnson's family filed a complaint with a regulatory body against the funeral home operator. Damn, sound like they had some shit to do with it too. So it's just
they did have some shit to do with it. They did.
You can just
this is all orchestrated. Everything's organized, and they orchestrated to kill that young man, to take his organs. That's what the fuck happened, and that's sure similar to what Kanika Jenkins went through. Except that it's in your face now. Her death is in your face.
Absolutely.
It's highly publicized on social media, and now you really see the veil is lifted now. Now, prior to, I mean, you heard about it and you see stories come out, but you never see it stay alive for too long. But it is the fact there's too many mistakes. Kanika's orchestration of her death that it can't help but to be noticed. So yeah, it's time for this shit to be noticed, because this is crazy, man. And black people, please be careful. Stop putting blood. Don't put donor on your license, your ID. Do not put that stuff on your ID or license. Please do not do that, because you're a target to get your organs took. Because you could be the right type for somebody, and now they're gonna find a way to kill you. And there's different ways to kill you. What is supposed to be noticed, it's not supposed to be noticed. They find a way where it's not, where it's unnoticeable. So we gotta be mindful of what we do as black people. We gotta watch our back. Go see that movie Get Up. Y'all need to see that movie Get Up.
And just because it may have some scenes in there that might come off like, oh, it's so funny, it is giving you, it is telling you
The
what's
real shit.
the real deal.
Right.
It really is.
It's crazy, man. But we see again, like I said, as black people, we gotta start policing our community. Now we gotta start getting together on united front because apparently it's a war on us, as you see. But we can't keep taking this. We gotta fight back. We gotta protect our people, enemies necessary. How they coming at us, we gonna have to come at them like that. Eye for fucking eye. You damn right. If they want to use force, we gonna use force. Something gotta be done. This can't
Right,
keep
because
happening.
at some point in time, we can't just be, let's sit down and have a chit chat chew. It's not going to work. Can't sit down and do that.
Some situations you can't do that.
Get in a circle and have this marathon of a prayer. No disrespect, but you have to be proactive because that's how, I mean, they coming off, and you just, that unfortunately you're gonna have to be proactive and take some type of
you just
action.
let them be. Y'all just let these people be punching bags to us. We punching bags to them. But you're right. You gotta be proactive. Man, I don't want to go no deeper. I'm done with it.
Right.
Because I'm about to go somewhere that people ain't gonna like. So I'd rather just be quiet and we just need to go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay. Well, we didn't do Bill Cosby, but we certainly spoke about him in a previous show, but we're just kind of going to update. We're not going to go into it with him tonight, but we're going to certainly have articles for you guys.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna post all those so you guys can check
for
out.
Bill Cosby.
Absolutely.
There's going to be some other updates with Kendrick Johnson, so those will be posted up there. We appreciate you guys who are going to listen to the replay of a show that's been pre-programmed. And again, please, this is New Year's Eve. Please be safe. No drunk driving. It's not only your life that would be at risk, it's somebody else's. Please
be safe out there.
Be safe out there. You can have fun. You can have fun. I'm not saying that, but please be careful and be safe out there. From the Chit Chat Chew Show, be safe out there. We say Happy New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Day. We'll be back tomorrow for our regular podcast
7 to 9 p.m.
from 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time podcast show.
Absolutely.
So you want to give them some
Let me give some I get some game on some social media and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So social media. So you can find us on the social platforms. We have a Facebook, Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC. Make sure if y'all can see what she's doing, she messing with my dreads.
I'm feeling a little hood right now.
Yeah.
I got my hoodie on.
She thugging, y'all.
Thugging.
All y'all can see, she thugging.
I'm Philly thugging. Philly thugging. No, psych. Let me stop messing with y'all.
Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC. Make sure you like us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, Chit Chat Chew Radio Show. Make sure you join our group, and we will add you so you can be a part of our world. And it's like a little community, so you can be a part of that. We have an Instagram, Chit Chat Chew Show, at Chit Chat Chew Show. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We have a Twitter, at chit_chat_chew. Again, at chit_chat_chew. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We tweet about us. We tweet about our shows, what we got going on. We appreciate it so much. We have a YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chit Chat Chew Show. Hit the bell for notifications so you get updates on when things are posted and what we got going on with our shows. We thank you so much. We also have a Vimeo. Make sure you follow us on there at Chit Chat Chew Show. What else am I missing? I think that's it. I mentioned everything. I'll let you take it away with Be Authentic and Lotus Monk and the websites.
Okay, Be Authentic. Okay. I should know this by now, but so you can go to our website, which is www.
You started with Facebook or Instagram?
I'm doing the website right now.
Okay. Go ahead.
So where are we at?
Wow. You doing the website, right?
The website. Thank you. My fault. So go visit our website, www.chitchatchewshow.com. Again, that's www.chitchatchewshow.com. There we'll have our vision. It tells you a little bit about us. Well, it tells you about us. We have a donation button. We have a guest sign in. We have sponsorship packages. We the soaps on there.
Yeah.
Our soaps are on there. It tells you the prices for our large bar of soap as well as our small. It has past guests that's been on there. Even if we interviewed them, if we didn't, those that we interviewed and those that we didn't interview, we have their information. So everybody's information is on there. So I just wanted to say that on our,
let me see, it might pull up on here.
On our Facebook page, we have Be Authentic, and I'm so mad that it's not coming up right now.
Well, it's gonna pull up right here.
Okay, so our Be Authentic is not pulling up, but we have a Be Authentic page, which is
Here it is. Bam.
It's Be Authentic. Look us up.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, so our Facebook page, I should know this. Our Facebook page for Be Authentic is B, just the letter B, and Authentic, which is AUTHENTIC products. Be Authentic products with the S at the end of products. Go like us, follow us, support us, make it go viral. This is a new page that we've been slowly working on. It's a t-shirt line, as well as other accessories to come. And we have, did you do the Instagram for Be Authentic?
I'm letting you do that.
Okay,
that's why I let you take it away.
The Be Authentic line for Instagram is, we're going to pull that up. It should be B_products. Is that it? I should know it.
Wait a second.
I should know it. I'm gonna get better, but this 2017.
Yeah, come on now. Gotta get better.
Listen, I'm gonna have it together for 2018. This is how I do in 2017. This is a me that some of y'all haven't seen, but you heard it. You heard it today.
Y'all gonna find out though.
So for our Instagram page for Be Authentic, you can go to B, again, just the letter B, Be Authentic _products. Again, that's Be Authentic, AUTHENTIC _products, PRODUCTS. Like us there, follow us.
Follow,
support viral. Definitely do that. We have just a sample of what the t-shirts look like, our soaps that's on there, which is a limited supply,
yeah, that's pretty
the
much
prices,
it.
and just giving you a little taste.
Yeah, a little taste, a little something.
Lotus Monk. Did we say where they at?
You didn't say that. That's why I tell you take that away.
So our Facebook for Lotus Monk. I'm so sick of these people sending this stuff. I'm gonna start deleting people. I'm not gonna even wait for. I've been deleting, and I don't even know if they saw it coming. But if they didn't, oh well. I'm so mean.
You're not mean.
We have a LGBTQ, IAA, however you are identifying yourselves, is in the rainbow community.
I'm gonna bring up something to you off the show that they added to the rainbow community.
Okay, so yeah, we have a Lotus Monk Facebook page, and you can go to Lotus Monk Biz. So that's LOTUSMONK BIZ. You can look us up that way. Lotus Monk Biz. That's on our Facebook. We have a Facebook page for Lotus Monk Biz. And then we have a Twitter for Lotus Monk, which is Lotus Projects, LOTUS PROJECTS. Follow us, add us.
Follow.
Make sure you do it, share it, go viral.
Grassroots.
Support us mentally, support us financially. We appreciate both. 2018 is bringing big things for everyone. I put that out to all, whether I know you or not, because guess what? I want my karma to be off the chain, positive for 2018. Negative people, places, situations will be blocked, boop, cut,
gone,
boop,
disappear.
So that's all I gotta say to that. It. Be safe, and that's it.
Be safe, y'all. Have a good night. Have a safe, happy New Year's. Wish y'all good fortune for the new year. You're gonna need it.
Ditto. Peace, love, and hair grease.
Peace out. Cheers.